Hello, friends. I'm your doctor. Ever wonder how some folks thrive well into their 90s? If you're over 70 and doing these 5 simple things, you're practically guaranteed a century of vitality. But here's the chilling truth. Most folks have already stopped these habits, unknowingly shaving 12 years off their lives. Stay with me until the end to discover the 5 secrets to sharpening your mind and reclaiming your joy. Ready to thrive? Comment yes below. Now, let's get started. Number 1. Lifelong learning and building new paths in the mind. I cannot tell you how many times I have heard folks in my office say, "Doctor, I'm just too old to learn anything new." They believe that once they hit 70, their brain is a finished book, and all that's left is to read the same pages over and over. Many of my neighbors spend their entire day sitting in their favorite armchair, watching cable news or reading the same local paper, thinking they are staying sharp. But the truth is, they are just being passive. Their minds are going dormant. This is the first mistake that many people make, believing that retirement means mental retirement too. Let me explain what is happening inside your head from a medical perspective. Think of your brain like a bustling city. When you're young, you have a vast network of paved roads and highways. As we age, if we don't maintain those roads, they start to crumble. We get potholes, we get roadblocks. This is what we call aging. But here is the miracle. Your brain has something called neuroplasticity. This means your brain can actually build brand new highways, even when you are 80 or 90 years old. When you struggle to learn a new skill, you are literally paving a new road that bypasses the old, crumbling ones. Why does this become so essential as we get older? It is because our bodies don't produce the same level of brain growth chemicals as they used to. When we were kids, our brains were like sponges. Now, we have to be more intentional. If you don't give your mind a difficult task to chew on, those neural connections simply wither away. It is a case of use it or lose it. I see it every day. When my patients stop challenging themselves, they start to experience that frustrating fogginess in the head. You might know the feeling. Maybe you walk into the kitchen and completely forget why you went there. Or you find your car keys in the refrigerator. You might call it a senior moment, and you might think it's just part of getting old. But often, those are symptoms of a mind that has stopped growing. When you aren't building new paths, the old ones get congested and slow. This leads to met-moi, joint pain, and that feeling of being disconnected from the modern world. Scientific research from the University of California shows that seniors who engage in truly novel learning exhibit brain activity patterns like people 30 years younger. This isn't just about memory, it's about reaction speed and problem solving. It effectively rejuvenates your entire cognitive function. So, I want you to make a change. Stop the mindless scrolling and the repetitive TV shows. Instead, I want you to start something new. Pick up a guitar. Learn how to use a new app on your iPad. Try learning a few words of Spanish so you can talk to your neighbors. You need to be consistent. Just 15 to 30 minutes every single morning is enough to drive real progress. Don't worry about being perfect. Embrace the mistakes. Each time you mess up, your brain is working hard to fix the connection. That struggle is exactly where the healing happens. Think about the role of your daily habits here. While a good diet with blueberries and walnuts provides the fuel for your brain, learning is the engine that actually drives the car. You need both. Food is a wonderful foundation, but without the mental exercise, that nutrition has nowhere to go. This reminds me so much of my patient, Martha. Martha is 74 and lives just a few blocks away in Ohio. Her grandson, Leo, showed her a coding app on his phone one afternoon. Most people her age would have just smiled and patted him on the head, but Martha decided she wanted to learn it. Her friends at the bridge club thought she was crazy. They asked her, "Martha, why are you torturing yourself with computer code at your age?" Martha didn't listen. She spent 20 minutes every morning with her coffee, working through the puzzles. 2 years later, she built a simple app to organize her family recipes. Her memory improved so much that her own doctor was shocked. Martha didn't just learn a skill, she reclaimed her vitality. So, here is your practical step for today. Choose one thing you've always been curious about but were too afraid to try. Whether it is pottery, coding, or playing the piano, start today. If you are ready to challenge your mind and build those new paths, please comment the word brain below. It tells me you are committed to staying sharp. Number 2, strong social connections and the heart of longevity. I see it so often in my clinic. A patient retires, the office parties stop, or perhaps they lose a spouse of many years. Suddenly, the house feels very quiet. This quietness is a silent threat that many people ignore. They think being alone is just a natural part of getting older, but it is actually a major health risk. The problem is that many of our neighbors have stopped reaching out. They stay inside, they wait for the phone to ring, and they slowly withdraw from the world. This is the second great mistake. From a medical standpoint, being alone isn't just about feeling sad. It is a biological stressor. When you feel isolated, your body stays in a state of high alert. This causes your adrenal glands to pump out cortisol, which is our primary stress hormone. While cortisol is helpful if you are running away from a bear, having it constantly flowing through your veins is like pouring acid on your internal organs. It increases inflammation, weakens your heart, and makes your immune system sluggish. Why does this become so toxic as we age? It is because our older bodies do not handle inflammation as well as they used to. In our 30s, we could recover from a stressful week. Now, chronic stress from loneliness keeps the body's defense systems on edge all the time. This accelerates the aging of your cells and makes you more vulnerable to every kind of illness. You might notice the symptoms in your daily life without realizing they are tied to your social life. Do you feel like your memory is getting a bit fuzzy? Do you find yourself feeling tired even after a full night of sleep? Many people come to me complaining of brain fog or mysterious physical aches. They think it is just their aching knees or old age acting up. But often, these are signs that the mind and body are starving for human connection. Loneliness shows up as physical pain because the brain processes social rejection in the same area it processes a broken bone. The science is very clear on this. The Harvard study of adult development followed thousands of people for over 80 years. They found that the single greatest predictor of a long and happy life wasn't wealth or even low cholesterol. It was the quality of their relationships. People with strong social ties lived an average of 7 years longer than those who were isolated. In fact, being lonely is scientifically proven to be as deadly as smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. So, I am telling you now, please do not hide away. Stop waiting for others to call you. You must take the lead. If you have been staying home too much, it is time to change that habit. Reach out to an old friend. Sign up for a class at the local senior center. Go where the people are. I also want to talk about the role of food in your social life. We all know that eating your vegetables is important, but I believe that sharing a meal is just as vital as the nutrients on your plate. Eating a healthy dinner alone is never as good for your spirit as sharing a simple sandwich with a dear friend. The laughter, the storytelling, and the connection you feel across the table provide a boost to your heart health that no supplement can match. Nutrition is the foundation, but social connection is the spark that makes life worth living. This brings to mind my friend Arthur. Arthur is 78 years old and lives right here in town. When his wife passed away after 52 years of marriage, he retreated into his home. He ordered all his groceries online and stopped going to church. In just a few months, he looked like he had aged 10 years. He was forgetful and had lost his spark. His children were deeply concerned, but everything changed when he joined a community garden project. He met Eleanor, a retired teacher with a passion for tomatoes, and George, a veteran who always had a story to tell. They started meeting twice a week to work the soil and share a meal. Within 6 months, Arthur was a new man. He was sharp, energetic, and his doctor noticed his blood pressure had even improved. He found his tribe again. My practical solution for you is this. I want you to schedule at least one in-person meeting every single week. It doesn't have to be fancy. It could be a 20-minute coffee date at the local diner or a walk around the park with a neighbor. The key is face-to-face contact. Seeing a friendly face and hearing a voice in person does something for your brain that a text message simply cannot do. If you are ready to honor your friendships and keep your heart full, please comment the word "friend" below. Let's celebrate the people who make our lives bright. Number 3. Natural movement and staying active through daily life. I often see my patients make a very common mistake. They think that in order to be healthy, they have to buy an expensive gym membership or run 5 miles on a treadmill at the local YMCA. They try it for a week. Their aching knees start barking at them, and they quit, spending the rest of the month sitting in their recliner. This mindset is actually hurting you. You do not need to be a marathon runner to live to be 100 years old. In fact, for many folks over 70, those high-intensity workouts can do more harm than good by causing inflammation in the joints and putting unnecessary strain on the heart. From a medical perspective, our bodies are not designed to sit still for 8 hours and then move violently for 1. That is a recipe for injury. As we get older, our tissues lose their elasticity. Our tendons become like old rubber bands that can snap if they are stretched too quickly. However, when you move gently and consistently throughout the day, you are essentially greasing your own gears. This steady, low-impact movement keeps the synovial fluid flowing in your joints. Think of that fluid as the natural oil that keeps your body from rusting. Why is this so essential now? It is because, as we age, our bodies become less efficient at clearing out the metabolic waste that builds up when we sit too long. When you stay in that rocking chair for hours, your circulation slows down, and those waste products settle in your legs and your lower back. This is exactly why you feel so stiff and cranky when you finally try to stand up after a long movie or a car ride. If you feel like your joints are always giving you trouble, it might not be a serious disease. It might just be a lack of natural flow. The symptoms are easy to recognize in your own life. Do you find it hard to get out of bed in the morning? Do you feel a heavy, sluggish fatigue in your limbs by 3 o'clock in the afternoon? Many people think they need a nap or another cup of coffee, but what they actually need is to walk to the end of the driveway. Scientific research from the National Institute on Aging shows that seniors who engage in light, frequent activity have much stronger bones and better balance than those who are sedentary. We see this in the blue zones like Sardinia or Okinawa. The people there do not lift weights. They garden, they walk up steep hills to visit neighbors, and they knead their own bread. They are moving all day long. I want you to stop thinking of exercise as a chore you have to finish. Instead, I want you to start weaving it into the fabric of your day. If you are on the phone, stand up and pace the room. If you need a gallon of milk, walk to the corner store instead of driving your car. Start small. Just 10 minutes of extra walking a day can add years of vitality to your life. Please, stop sitting for more than 1 hour at a time. Get up, stretch your arms, and take a lap around your kitchen. While movement is the medicine, you must think of your food as the support system. You cannot move well if you are not hydrated or if you are not getting enough protein to keep your muscles strong. Real, whole foods give you the steady energy you need to stay active. While a smart supplement can be helpful, it is no substitute for the energy you get from a balanced meal that fuels your daily walk. This reminds me so much of my patient Beatrice. She is 83 years old and a wonderful neighbor. Beatrice has never set foot in a gym. Instead, she tends a large vegetable garden, walks to the post office every single morning, and always takes the stairs when she comes to see me at the clinic. She cleans her own house and plays tag with her great-grandchildren in the yard. Beatrice is more flexible than people who are half her age because she simply never stops moving. So, here is your practical solution. Don't let 60 minutes pass without standing up. Take the long way to the mailbox. Vacuum a room or pull some weeds in the garden. These small, natural movements are the secret to a long life. If you are ready to keep your body moving and your joints limber, please comment the word "move" below. Let me know that you are taking a step toward a healthier and more active version of yourself. Number 4. A strong sense of purpose and finding your reason to wake up. I have seen it happen too many times in my years of practice. A hardworking man or woman finally reaches that golden day of retirement. They hang up their hat, they put away the tools, and they think, finally, I can just sit and do nothing. But after a few months, nothing starts to feel very heavy. They begin to feel like they are just taking up space. They feel useless, or even worse, they worry they have become a burden to their children. This is the 4th major mistake, believing that your value in this world ends when your career does. From a medical perspective, having a reason to get out of bed is a powerful biological necessity. When you have a mission, your brain releases a healthy cocktail of chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin. These are the chemicals of reward and connection. They act as a natural shield against the stresses of aging. Without a sense of purpose, your brain essentially decides that it is no longer needed. When the mind stops striving, the body follows suit. Why is this so essential for us as we get older? It is because our neurological resilience depends on engagement. As we age, our brains naturally lose some volume. However, having a strong sense of purpose creates what we doctors call a cognitive reserve. This is like a backup battery for your mind. Even if there is some physical wear and tear in the brain, a person with a strong purpose can often function perfectly because their mind is so focused on their goals. You might recognize the symptoms of a lack of purpose in your own life. Do you wake up feeling a sense of dread or emptiness? Do you find yourself staring at the clock, just waiting for the day to end? Many people experience a sudden dip in their mental sharpness once they stop having responsibilities. They feel a heavy fogginess in the head. They lose their zest for life. They might think they are just getting old, but in reality, they are suffering from a lack of meaning. The science behind this is truly remarkable. A landmark study from Rush University Medical Center in Chicago followed over 1,000 seniors. They found that individuals with a high sense of purpose were 2.4 times less likely to develop Alzheimer's disease compared to those who felt aimless. Think about that. Having a reason to wake up is more protective for your brain than almost any medical intervention we have. Purpose literally keeps your brain cells connected and firing. So I am calling you to action today. Please, do not settle for a life of just sitting and waiting. If you feel aimless, you must find a way to be useful again. It does not have to be a grand gesture. You do not need to change the whole world. You just need to change your world. Reach out to a local school. Help a neighbor with their dog. Start writing down your life stories for your grandkids. Whatever it is, find a way to contribute. While your purpose is the spark, your nutrition is the fuel that allows you to keep that fire burning. You cannot go out and mentor a child if you are feeling weak and lethargic from poor eating habits. Think of your healthy meals as the high-quality fuel that gives you the stamina to fulfill your mission. Real, whole foods provide the steady energy you need to get out of the house and into the community. This reminds me of a patient of mine named Harold. Harold is 79 years old and was a retired accountant. After he stopped working, he became very depressed. He felt like he had nothing left to offer the world. He just sat in his recliner and watched the news all day. His health started to fail rapidly, but then he began volunteering as a reading tutor for a young boy named Billy. Billy was struggling in school, and Harold used his patience to help the boy catch up. Suddenly, Harold had a reason to get dressed in the morning. He started walking more. He started smiling again. His memory sharpened, and his blood pressure stabilized. Helping Billy read gave Harold a reason to live. My practical solution for you is this. Identify one skill you have spent your life perfecting. Maybe you are great at organizing, cooking, or listening. Find one place in your community where that skill is needed. Spend just 2 hours a week giving that gift away. If you are ready to find your ikigai and live with meaning, please comment the word purpose below. Let me know that you are ready to make your mark on the world. Number 5. Optimism and gratitude as your mental medicine. I see this every day in my clinic. Many of my neighbors spend their time focusing on what is wrong. They worry about their medical bills. They talk about their aching knees that pop and crack. They focus on the friends they have lost. This mental weight makes the physical body feel much heavier. They think they are just being realistic, but they are actually trapping themselves in a cycle of decline. As your doctor, I can tell you that a positive outlook is more than just a happy thought. It is actually written into your DNA. Science has discovered that optimistic people have longer telomeres. You can think of telomeres as the little protective caps on the ends of your chromosomes, much like the plastic tips on your shoelaces. When those tips stay long, your cells stay young. Pessimism and chronic stress make those tips fray and wear out. This effectively speeds up the aging process in every single organ of your body. You might notice that when you are bogged down by negative thoughts, you feel physically exhausted. Your digestion might slow down. Your sleep becomes restless and thin. This is a sign that your mind is under attack. Scientific research from the University of Kentucky shows that seniors with a grateful heart have stronger immune systems and lower rates of heart disease. I often think of my patient, Hazel. She is 86 years old and has been through more than most. She lost her husband to cancer and has survived a heart attack herself. Her arthritis makes simple things like opening a jar a real chore. But every time Hazel walks through my door, she is radiating warmth. I asked her once how she stays so joyful. She told me she keeps a small notebook by her bed. Every single night, she writes down 3 things she is grateful for. Yesterday, she wrote about a bright red cardinal bird at her bird feeder and a 20-minute phone call from her daughter. Hazel chooses to celebrate what remains rather than mourn what is gone. I want you to stop the habit of dwelling on your limitations. Tonight, before you turn out the lamp, I want you to start your own list. Write down 3 small joys from your day. It could be the taste of a fresh apple or a kind word from a neighbor. This simple act rewires your brain to seek out the good. While we focus on the mind, remember that a healthy body supports a healthy spirit. When you nourish yourself with real, whole foods, you give your brain the stability it needs to stay positive. It is hard to be optimistic when your energy is crashing from processed sugar. Treat your body with respect, and your mind will find it much easier to be grateful. If you are ready to find the light in every day, please comment the word grateful below. Share one small thing that made you smile today. Friends, these 5 habits are your map to a vibrant life. Aging is not a decline. It is an opportunity to focus on what truly matters. Which small change will you promise to make this week? Tell me in the comments below. If this conversation helped you, please join our community by subscribing and sharing this with someone you love. I am so proud of the steps you are taking. Stay healthy and stay hopeful.